Good Tuesday morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I am Cortensia Carty. And as Jamie said, a great Tuesday to you. We begin now with the local news. This from SKNIS, a two-week series of consultations aimed at professionalizing the teaching force in St. Kitts and Nevis began on Monday, the 20th March 2023. The St. Kitts and Nevis National Commission for UNESCO and Ministry of Education officials welcome Dr. Steve Wokacheka, Executive Director of the Africa Federation of Teaching Regulatory Authorities, to the Federation to facilitate the series of consultations. The project was launched with a courtesy call on the Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. Also present were Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mistress Lisa Pisana, Senior Assistant Secretary, Dr. Tricia Esdale, Focal Point, Mistress Carla Mills-Diamond, and Secretary General to the St. Kitts and Nevis National Commission for UNESCO, Miss Dorothy Warner. According to Mistress Diamond, chairperson of the core and steering committees, the whole idea of the project is to transition from an inter-service model of teacher education to a pre-service model of teacher education. Mistress Diamond continued by saying, and quote, "There must be a common standard of what it means to be a teacher in order to ensure that the process is culturally relevant and that the outcomes reflect our national realities. Consultations are necessary." End quote.
In other news from SKN Vibes, the Joseph and France General Hospital has received and commissioned 2 far-infrared therapy machines generously donated by the Taipei Veterans General Hospital and the WS Far IR Medical Technology Company Limited in Taiwan. The machines were received by His Excellency Danya L. Francis, the country's resident ambassador to Taiwan, on behalf of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis at a brief ceremony held in Taiwan in December of 2022. Both machines arrived in the Federation earlier this year and are now ready to be deployed. Ambassador Francis said about the donation, quote, "As we continue to improve our healthcare system, so too the health of our people and the quality of services we provide. I'm extremely grateful for this timely and valuable donation of these machines." End quote. Far-infrared therapy is a type of heat therapy that uses far-infrared rays to relieve pain and improve circulation. It is effective in treating various conditions, including arthritis, back pain, and muscle spasms.
Our next story comes from Win Media SKN. The Ministry of Education and the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis is undertaking a project to improve the safety and security system at the Irish Town Primary School. The Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley said 3 projects are ongoing at the school, with the aim of resuming face-to-face instruction at the beginning of the final academic term with a proper security system in place. Hanley at the Prime Minister's monthly press conference on Thursday, March 30th, 2023 said, and quote, "The work at the Irish Town Primary School has started, and there are 3 major projects that we are working on at that institution, and we are hoping that by the end of the Easter break, the entire project will be completed. The security enclosed areas of the Eastern and Western Breezeway are currently being installed. I visited there yesterday. Work remains in progress on the fence that we are replacing, and the refurbishing of the new space for the principal's office is ongoing. Our tentative target date is April 24th, end quote. The Irish Town Primary School has not been occupied for face-to-face instruction since the murder of the school security guard, 51-year-old Delia Hanley, on February 14th, 2023.
Time now for a check of our local weather. It will be mostly sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your forecast as we head to a break. More GMSKN in a moment.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Time now for the latest in regional news. This from Loop Caribbean. Dr. Jacinth Brown Howard has been selected to represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the 40th edition of the Poetry Market, also known as Marche de la Poésie, which will take place from June 7th to 11th in Paris, France. In February 2022, the UNESCO program Transcultura, integrating Cuba, the Caribbean, and the European Union through culture and creativity, funded by the European Union, extended a call for young poets from the Caribbean. This invitation welcomed the participation of poets from the English, Spanish, and French nations of the region. From the 252 applications received, 10 poets between the ages of 18 to 35 were selected to showcase their work at the Poetry Market. The Transcultura program will facilitate the attendance and participation of the 10 selected poets. This will be the first time that the Caribbean will be represented at this gathering of great literary significance. While there, Dr. Jacinth will receive opportunities to network with established professionals, including authors and publishers from all over Europe. Not only will this foster career development, but the program is also an avenue to distribute Vincentian work in.
On the international scene, our story comes from CNN. Cruising at a depth of 8,336 meters, over 27,000 feet, just above the seabed, a young snailfish has become the deepest fish ever filmed by a scientist during a probe into the abyss of the Northern Pacific Ocean. Scientists from the University of Western Australia in Tokyo, University of Marine Science and Technology, released footage of the snailfish on Sunday, filmed last September by sea robots in deep trenches of Japan. Along with the filming, the deepest snailfish the scientists physically caught, 2 other specimens at 8,022 meters, and sets another record for the deepest catch. Previously, the deepest snailfish ever spotted was at 7,703 meters in 2008, while scientists had never been able to collect fish from anywhere below 8,000 meters. Marine biologist Alan Jameson, founder of the Midrow UAA, a Deep Sea Research Center, and expedition leader, said, and quote, "What is significant is that it shows how far a particular type of fish will descend in the ocean. Scientists are filming in the trenches of Japan as part of a 10-year study into the deepest fish population in the world." Snailfish are members of the Leopardi family, and while most snailfish live in shallow waters, others survive at some of the greatest depths ever recorded, end quote. There you have it for regional and international news. We have so much in store for you on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. For this segment of In the News, we'll be discussing an article published by the Associated Press, or AP News, titled Japan Unveils Proposal to Promote Marriage and Raise Birth Rate. So here are some excerpts from that article. First reads that the Japanese cabinet minister in charge of tackling the country's declining birth rate unveiled a draft proposal Friday aimed at reversing the downtrend, including increased subsidies for childbearing and education and a salary increase for younger workers to incentivize marrying and having kids. Okay.
But why though? I guess people don't. Well, I read an article that says that most women in Japan right now, they're into education. At least 58% of the enrollment in the colleges are female, while 52% is male. And although they have these packages available, these women are concerned because they don't have gender equality in Japan, that they will have to stay at home and look after the kids and lose their careers and lose their education because when they're married, they have to change their maiden names and use their husband's name. Because if they don't, it seems that the home is not fully intact and they're not setting a proper example for their kids according to Japan's conservative, how should I say it? Yeah, a part of Japan being a conservative country. That's the quickest word that can come to mind, but wow. So with that said, although it is incentivized, nobody wants to make children.
I see.
So Children's Policy Minister Manosobu Oguru said the next 5 years are possibly a last chance for Japan to reverse its declining birth rate. Wow.
Okay.
So if they don't get babies, then that's it for the third largest developing country in the world. Wow.
Many younger Japanese have balked at marrying or having families, discouraged by bleak job prospects, corporate cultures, incompatible with having both parents, but especially women, work and lack of public tolerance, for small children. All right.
Wow.
No, I feel far into this because, again, it's Japan. Great. All right.
But I'm looking at the lack of public tolerance for small children. So what's wrong with small children? Small children are now adults. Small children will become adults, and that's what the country needs. So I don't understand the lack of tolerance. for the small children. And the fact, though, that they're asking you to marry and have children, how can they decide on what you should do with your bodies, or just to populate because they need you to populate? It's a lot. So to address problems, Ogoru's plan proposes increased financial assistance, including more government subsidies for childbearing, more generous student loans for higher education, and greater access to childcare services. It also aims to change the cultural mindset towards more gender equality both at home and at work. The proposal also includes increased government assistance to companies to encourage more of the male staff to take a paternity leave, which has been a point of contention for working fathers fearing retaliation. This is fair enough. In some countries, the dads can't stay at home even for a week, can be fired. So that's good that they're putting these proposals in place to ensure that the dad can get some time off with the children.
The majority of Japanese between the ages of 18 and 34 say that they hope to marry at some point, but plan to have fewer than 2 children. A growing percentage say that they have no intention of getting married, according to data cited in the proposal. So if they have no intention of getting married,
birth rate is definitely not going to be stabilized, or it's not going to grow. But I remember one time, and two, with rising costs, both parents need to work. You can't have one parent at home. So maybe that's the next reason too why they do not want to maybe engage in having children right now. And then it is not encouraged for single, unmarried couples to have children in Japan. As I said, they're a conservative country, so they want it done the proper way. So that could be a next reason why they won't get the population that they need.
Perhaps.
Wow.
All right, we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
大家好，我是陈琦，早安 SKN。
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here!
The Blessings Daycare Center is hosting its first ever Blessings Easter Camp. My voice, as they continue to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. Joining us are Mistress Tishani Toussaint, proprietor of Blessings Daycare Center, and children's ministry leader, Pastor Keith Warner, assistant pastor at the Kingdom Adventist Church and counselor, and Minister Minerva Wilson, children's ministry assistant. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Good Morning SKN. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure indeed. So, Ms. Toussaint, why a camp? Why did you decide to host the Easter camp to celebrate?
So I decided to do an Easter camp because this was something that initially, when I started the whole plan of expanding Blessings Daycare Center, this was something that I thought children would definitely benefit from. And even though I usually cater for the age from birth to 5 years, I saw an opportunity within our community to expand to the older ages. And as children ministry, leader of children ministry, being in that role, I'm seeing that there is definitely a need for that type of service within our community for our children. And so that is why Blessings Easter Camp has been birthed.
Nice. And what dates are we talking about?
So we are going to be hosting our camp from the 11th, which is next week Tuesday, to the 21st of April, and the Bible workshop, that is the theme of our Easter camp.
The Bible workshop?
Yes.
Okay. So the age range, you mentioned older.
Yes, so we are looking at ages 3 to 12 years old.
Okay.
And even if we have 13 years, that will be fine as well. But we want to share the gospel of God, and we want our children to have that spiritual life. And so starting here at that Easter camp, for those children that are unchurched, it gives them that opportunity to learn about God, to be able to experience and encounter Him. And that's why we have this camp that we are hosting.
Okay.
All right, so I'm curious to know now about your respective roles as it concerns what's going on. So why don't we start with you, Minerva?
Yes, as you mentioned, the assistant at our children's ministry, and I basically help coordinate. I'm something like a coordinator, coordinate the events. So we have planned a very, very robust curriculum for the children. So it's not going to always be about Bible, because children, you know, are very, very, very wide creatures, and they love variety. So we'll be having face painting, we'll be having art and craft, we'll be having music, we'll be having lots and lots. So it's not just Bible, but we will incorporate the Bible with that. So I'm just coordinating and assisting my dear sister and Pastor Keith in this.
Okay. All right, so Pastor, I can assume what your role is, but I'm going to have you tell what it is.
Yes, well, I am one of the pastors there, because my senior pastors are Prophetess Jeremy Thomas and Esther Thomas. So they literally drafted me in. So I will be there to do the Bible studies, and so the children will clearly get an understanding, especially from John chapter 3 verse 16, that God loves them. No matter what color of your skin, no matter what you have done, wherever you came from, God loves you, and to really illustrate that, to let them know, no matter what you have done, God loves you in spite of.
Now, that's a very important message, and as I hear you say that, I know that we've talked a lot about the need for tolerance here. But to hear you say no matter what color your skin is, no matter what you've done, that God loves you, I think that you are actually planting a seed, so to speak, so that we become more tolerant and accepting and loving, and I like that.
Yes, because, you know, over the years, God's love has not been taught a lot. The full unconditional love of God. We have often just browbeaten persons, and we want to do something different. We want to love. That's it. Because in love, we then have persons open. You get persons to open up and you genuinely love them. And so we want to start here, because we have seen where the society is going, and we want to change that dynamic. We won't want to a continual cycle of that, where children grow up feeling unloved, unwanted, hated by persons who they look to love them. So that's why we wanted to do this, to spread the love. And that's what we love. We love children.
Yeah. And I feel that it would hit the mark within our society, and I know that there's definitely a need for this. Within our high school, we are seeing a breakdown, and recently I attended a meeting, and it's like the principal basically crying out for help from the parents. And I think that if we incorporate these seeds within our society, that definitely they will go into something much bigger. And even though just the three of us, we are hosting this camp with other persons as well assisting, that this message, it would go across the diaspora. It's just not here within our federation. It's, it has to reach. It has to reach out. And we know with God's love, and that is what children really need. Yes. And that is a spiritual development that they need to help them to navigate through life. And so that's what we're trying to share here. So it's more than just the Easter camp. And from this as well, we have a Saturday Kids Club that will be starting from this. So this is a small part, like I mentioned, the Easter camp. And then with that Saturday camp, then we will provide consistency. We will continue with the spiritual development. And so that's where we're taking this.
So we know kids normally start getting into trouble between 13 and 16, serious trouble.
Yes.
Why are the 16-year-olds not included in this camp?
Well, to be honest, within our ministry, we do have space for that age group. Because we are also serving youth ministry. That's a holistic part of our children's ministry. And it's funny that you said that, because we were just the other night brainstorming of some programs that we can bring on stream. And one of the programs that we are looking at is You Are Not Alone, providing we provide counseling for our teens, because they need someone to speak to. And what we have observed is that they're not reaching out to their teachers. Even the guidance counselor at school, that's a no. And so they need a safe space where they can come in and that they can have that one-on-one time with you and be able to, hear what they have to say. So yes, we are looking at that age group as well. And we are factoring everything that we know that we have been observing within our community. And even though we may not have that fix, we are going to apply the word of God. And we believe with that will help to rectify some of the issues that we are seeing within our federation.
Okay, I have one more question. Is there any future plans for you three and others to go into the various schools around the island and speak to them, and then
yes, you are, yes,
we are actually the three of us have recently started a training course where we are being properly trained. Not that we weren't trained before, but we are being properly trained to go into the community, to go into schools, to interact with the children on a more holistic level.
Yes.
So we are being trained, plans are in place, so you'll be seeing a little more of us.
I like that.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so this is interesting how we, diverged from the camp, which is what you were here to talk about, getting insight into the fact that you use the camp to continue to spread your message, and that's actually quite interesting. All right, if we can return to the camp briefly, I'm not sure that we talked about the registration deadline or even the capacity. So what can you tell us about that?
Okay, so registration is currently at $50, and it's a small fee for what the children will be getting. And the registration deadline, that's the 7th of April. And so persons, if you have not registered, it is an opportunity now to register. You can register on our Facebook page, Blessings Daycare Center, or you can stop by our center at Doers Commercial Park, and you can get an application form there as well. It's $250. So once the application form is completed, then we will, provide further information as it relates to payment. But for now, we just want persons to apply as much as possible. We do have space. As Pastor Keith said, it's not about the waste, nothing of that sort. We just want persons to come out and for their children to be engaged, to experience that encounter. It's a holistic camp, and like my dear sister said, it's not just about the Bible, which we know that the Bible, that's the core of it, but we have other fun activities that we do. And at Blessings, learning through play, that is what we model. So it's a lot of fun. It will be fun.
So Pastor Keith, are you going hiking? Because I see there's hiking involved.
You talk about hiking?
Yes.
Well, I believe I did hiking about maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
And when I was finished, I said to myself, I won't be going back again.
You gotta go for the kids this time.
Yes.
All right.
But even with the kids, what we are also trying to do too is, even though we speak and we teach the children, by the time they leave from the workshop and go home, they will be able to spread that to their parents. And so therefore, if their mother do not know certain things, they will say, no, I learned this at Sunday school, to don't tell lie, don't steal. So it give the parents a closer look at what they are doing, and the children are seeing, because their now eyes are being open to what is right and what is wrong.
I love the way that you just, I don't want to say manipulate. I can understand the psychology, particularly with Pastor Thomas there, so I understand the reasoning behind it, how you're getting everything done that you want to get done. All right, if we can return to some of the camp activities, because Cortencia mentioned hiking. I see that we have a pool day and theatrics and music, among others. What can you tell us about what we can expect?
All of those activities, of course, they were planned to pull children's development, and the theatrics to give children the opportunity to express themselves. It could be in poetry, it could be in dance, whatever comes to their spirit and they want to do. So we just want to give them that feeling of being me. not being confined or think that, okay, I have to do whatever you ask me to do. So that day for theatric, we just want for them to bring their talent out. And we all have a purpose and we have a gift inside of all of us. And so sometimes, we don't realize that until, it may be that push that you get. Because even me with Blessings, I would not have known that I would have been doing this. And this is what I love to do. I would not want to do anything different. So it's just to really gauge the talents. Pool day, just to have fun, splash around, it's Easter. Just enjoy the vacation, the hiking, again, physical activity, exercise, library, literacy, and all of that comes out of that. So everything that we do, I think we have a community day as well. We want to go out into community to help persons and so on. So we have all those things lined up, and that would, help children to become disciplined somewhat too. And even after this, looking within the community, even if there's an elderly somewhere, you're able to say, how can I help you? So that is what we want to see here within our community. So it has to start somewhere. So it starts at our Easter camp. So
I see they're also going to learn Spanish.
Yes, that is important as well.
Introductory Spanish, not the whole shebang. just a little stuff. Because children, if you expose them, you'll see them blossom. Because I was recently speaking to a young man and I asked him, so what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? He said, I don't know. I wasn't exposed to anything. Wow. I was always home. I didn't have anyone around me to teach me these things. And I'm like, wow. So sometimes we think I'm going to keep them home to keep them safe, but we are shutting down their talents. We are shutting down their dreams. And so us doing this would just give them a little taste of the different things that they can explore and have interest in. So that's why we want to explore everything, as well as let them know, yes, we love you and God loves you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And our parents should know that social and the emotional part of a child, that is very important. So it's not to keep them caved or boxed in. You have to allow them to socialize, especially with their age group. So sometimes when a parent say, I'll keep on my child for this amount of time until I'm ready, the child is ready for school, it's really an injustice to the child, because you're keeping the child away from that early play with children. And then when they do go into the environment with other children, they are so they're shut down and they can be very aloof because they have not experienced that from an early age. So persons need to understand that with children, keeping them away and saying, I don't want them to interact with other children, that is not healthy for them in any way.
The social interaction component definitely covered. The religious component definitely covered. I love the way that you've integrated all of these things, and congratulations again on your 10th anniversary and whatever it is that you're doing. Final word goes to you. That's your camera. What do you want the public to know about why you're here today?
Okay. So we're here today for two reasons. And one, we're here to share the word of God. That is one, and our first reason. And the second reason is for persons to know about Camp Blessing. And like we have just said and explained, Camp Blessing is more than just having fun. It is a holistic experience, and we want the Bible to be the core of this camp. So parents, we are urging you to bring your children out, send them out. The forms are available on our Facebook page, Blessings Daycare Center, also available at our location at Doers Commercial Park. And we're encouraging you to use this time that we have had here to convict you to bring your child to this Easter camp. We do not want any child to be left out. And so we are asking that persons, even if it's a grandmother, guardian, someone who, just is the person that may be taking care of that child. Once your child is between the age of 3 to 12 years old, we are open for this Easter camp. So you can register now before the 7th of April, which is our deadline. And we will definitely contact you and we will take it from there. So please, we really want to see everyone come out, and we have lots planned and in store for you.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much for coming and sharing the blessings with us.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure. More Good Morning SKN in a moment. Everyone, stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Serious?
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here!
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Here with us are Gareth Lewis and Solomon Morton of the St. Kitts Farmers Cooperative Society to share details on their upcoming sweet potato melee. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, gentlemen.
Welcome back.
Yes. Yes, good morning. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about sweet potato melee. Obviously, you could have your choice as to any vegetable to focus on. You've chosen sweet potato. Why?
I'll put it this way, that sweet potato has been part of our staple for quite some time. And I don't think that we really understand the benefits of sweet potato for them. And it's a crop that is easily grown, well up in SK. And all of that, I thought of a good way to push it to market it to get foreigners as well as locals consume more of it.
All right, so just to recap, you have decided to focus on sweet potato because you said, let me see if I'm a good student of yours, sir. You said that it's locally grown, it's actually easy to grow. There are a lot of benefits that we haven't focused on, and I think you were continuing, so I'll allow you to do that now.
Yeah, like I said before, the health benefits are numerous. For example, if we consume a certain amount of sweet potato daily, it adds greatly to our fiber intake, and therefore constipation and those stuff would be a thing of the past. Plus, it also had a lot of other chemicals in it that would assist with your skin texture, your hair texture, a number of things. And I thought it's a good way to introduce it to the public, let them know, listen, it is not just filling, but it is rewarding to your health and your personal development.
So I will just add a little piece on that, since it's speaking about the health benefit aspects. You know, in potato is one of the most, well, nutritional. It's not really a potato, it's a tuber actually, but we won't dive into that. But anyhow, we give you vitamin A, rich for your eyes, them, you know, that is good. You give you vitamin B, a lot of the minerals. You give you vitamin E, vitamin C, you know, you give you antioxidant, which in turn protect you from free radicals. So it does a lot overall. It gives you gut health, it gives you brain health, it gives you energy. So the sweet potato is actually more potent and like packed with minerals more than, you know, it's not that it's not just starchy, you know, so you could still, and as a matter of fact, it's complex carbs, and you know, if you're running, you need complex carbs. So a sweet potato is a complex carb, so you understand the magnitude of the vitamins in the sweet potato. So if you eat, let's say, one potato a day, you get your body fiber that you need, because a male need like 35 grams of fiber per day, a female need 25 gram fiber per day. So you intake one potato a day, it's good to go.
Wow.
That I heard. I just want to ask a follow-up question, because we talked about sweet potato, but we didn't talk about the melee. Is that where you come in?
Yes. Melee. Oh, okay. That's what we really hear. Yes, everybody here for the melee.
I'd just like to say that in coining the theme, really the thought for the day, I looked at something that I think would be catchy, something that would be quick to repeat and has an appeal.
Nice.
Those are the stuff you look at in marketing, you know, something that's catchy and it just goes. And so I said, it would be good to coin these to sweet potato melee, and that is where it came from, really.
Nice. So, gentlemen, I know of the yellow sweet potato and the white sweet potato. What are the other varieties we have on the island? Humble?
Well, there's actually a number of sweet potato. Solomon is an old head, as I tell you, so that means knowledge. So that simply means he have more knowledge than me. But as far as I know, there's a whole wide of different variety of sweet potato. We have those actually maybe like 5 months, 6 month vines, but those are the original one that go way back. There's still some of them on the island because I have most of them. Then you have the hybrid ones that come in that be maybe in like 2 months, more for the commercial aspect of it, quick money. And I can't really tell you the beneficial, you know, evidence on those, but enough the older stage. Anyhow, you have the purple, which most people, you know, haven't seen the purple sweet potato, but it's there and it's quite
on
lovely.
Island?
Yes, of course.
I never saw it. I never knew.
What island you on?
St. Kitts.
Anyhow, so you have the purple. It's best, like, it tastes better to me like when you bake it. When you bake it, it's superb. So you have the purple, you have the orange, you have the white, and this is where Mr. Morton come in now to give you some more aspect and the different types of potato.
Okay, I'd just like to say that there is over 300 different varieties of sweet potato, but in St. Kitts we have at least 35 different varieties. We have some that we used to go way back when this fella here was running around with Pampers. Well, naked because Pampers wasn't around then. Was using fig leaf back in those days.
Okay.
So,
quite so.
So we have those that are basically white flesh. We have the yellow flesh. We have the cream flesh. We have the purple. We have an off-white. We have quite a few varieties, and all would be on display on Thursday.
Okay.
As to the benefits of the purple potato, it is said it is the richest potato on the planet. It is very high in melanin, and it helps with your skin tone, your skin color. It has a lot of benefits. It is very good for person who are diabetic and hypertensive as well. So there are lots of benefit, and we are going to be elaborating much more on these varieties come Thursday. We're going to have some leaflets we'll print out that people can read and understand the value of the sweet potato, really.
So you see what he's called an old head? Knowledge. Knowledge.
You might call him an old head, but his hand is very swift.
Quite so.
All right, let's talk. Okay, you mentioned Thursday, so that's the day, time, location.
Okay, sweet potato melee is the thing of the day. And it is on Thursday, 6 April, Holy Thursday to be specific, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And one of the reasons why we chose around this time is that it's Good Friday and everybody wants a piece of sweet potato on their plate.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have that, something is missing.
Yes.
And we're saying here's an opportunity to educate you as to what you're going to use, what you're going to eat, and at the same time to make it more readily available so that you can easily get it. And I would like to say that one of the ideas I'm toying around with is to have sweet potato on discount for that day. So that you can buy any amount you want, you can get what you want, and really be there to celebrate sweet potato melee.
That's a lovely idea. That's a lovely idea.
I'm actually looking forward to the purple one. So let us talk about some of the value-added products that come from sweet potatoes.
Wow.
That's vast. Vast. Too vast.
Too vast?
Start with what you know.
Who are some of the vendors that will be selling some of these value-added products?
Well, we'll have the ice cream lady, I Queen. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing her name good, but she do different varieties of ice cream, and it's quite tasty, smooth, so local, healthy. So she'll be there displaying the famous sweet potato ice cream and probably different flavors that she have. We'll have the different coops them there doing their stuff. I think almost everyone who come to represent this function will be bringing a sweet potato dish of some sort. So there'll be choices, different varieties. We also invited a few hotels. Some declined. Some of them will be coming and displaying their dishes, so to speak. We'll eventually give them a reward or something, whatever the case may be. But there'll be a lot of different tastes and choices displaying throughout the whole day, whether cooked and cooked, baked. You could do so many things with sweet potatoes. You could even have a smoothie with sweet potatoes. So trust me, if you miss the sweet potato melee, you're missing out big time. You should definitely do not miss the melee, because the melee gonna rock the nation like the national ball is Pele. You understand? That's how sweet potato melee is gonna be.
I like the rhyme.
Yeah, and just to say that a number of the things that we would be having on display, you're going to be having sweet potato drink, and I'm sure you've never tasted that. And I promise you, once you taste it, you'll be hooked for life.
See that endless of varieties.
And we're going to have the sweet potato muffin rather than we do the blueberry muffin. You can get the sweet potato. Kind of up in the air, the person that was responsible for doing the sweet potato cheesecake is sick at the moment. But we're going to bring that later on as a complimentary aspect of our ongoing program. Then we're going to have a number of different dishes. We have invited the hotels, the top restaurants, to even local vendors to be a part of a competition. Create your dish, bring it, sweet potato base. And we have some very renowned judges that is going to be coming through. Judging starts at 1 o'clock, and they're going to be judging, and we would be rewarding the winners accordingly. So it plans to be a very interactive, educational, interested, and melee session. Don't forget the melee. The bear said melee for sale. Well, we're not selling ours. We're giving it to you.
Nice. I had a sweet potato cheesecake actually last year for Restaurant Week at Jamrock. It was really good because remember, sweet potato was a featured item on last year's Restaurant Week. So it was lovely.
And this is one of the things we are hoping too, is that out of this event, more hotels, top restaurants would be able to use sweet potato to captivate the tourists, the expats, even the nationals. As we go out, you know, they would feel comfortable because it's a product that they know. It is something that is new, presented in a new way, something that they like. And we're really hoping that out of this, the entire farming sector would be able to benefit tremendously because of the boost in sweet potato. And I'll say to you that I'm part of quite a few chats regionally and internationally, and I push it there. And they're pretty excited. As a matter of fact, some people already are saying, what is the recipe? Can I have a recipe? I'm saying, no, you can't have it. You'll wait. And it's creating a buzz because they've never really thought of sweet potato in that way, you know, being presented in so many different forms and fashion. But hey, anything is possible in St. Kitts, only St. Christopher.
I love that. I can feel the excitement already. I'm looking forward to it. You mentioned quite a few dishes that I'm eager to sample at the very least. What you did not mention concerning the competition is what the prizes would be. Have you decided on what they are, and what can you tell us about that?
When you say prices for the
competition.
Okay, for the first prize, we are giving a plot and at least 100 pounds of sweet potato. So we're saying to you, you don't have to buy the product now because you did it. We're now rewarding you that you can go and make something from it. For the restaurant, we're saying a plot and at least 50 pounds of sweet potatoes. And what we're hoping to do is not just give you one variety, but all the different varieties, so you can create your own melee in a dish and have it all the different colors splash in a fruit bowl, and it's ways that you can use it. So what we're trying to do is to get the agricultural product out there to the public, that they can appreciate it.
I think we certainly will, especially when it comes at a discount, as you're saying. And this is a great initiative. So we want to thank you for coming by and sharing this information with us again. Thursday, 9 to 6, Agro Strip. Competition starts at 1. See, I'm a good student. I'm trying. So maybe I can learn a recipe or two next time you come.
You're on point so far. You're on point.
Okay, awesome.
I haven't gotten an X as yet.
Well, I don't think I'm an old head, so.
Anyhow, the main emphasis what we're trying to do is to get the general public to understand the benefits of sweet potato, how beneficial it is. And that's the main goal. You know, we exercising with carp as well. We exercising the melee of it, but the message in the competition is eat healthy, and you get to understand how healthy a sweet potato is.
Oh, good stuff.
Okay, I don't know why you handed me this list just now, because it's getting worse for me by the second. I'm seeing conky here. I'm seeing all sorts of different things. Sweet potato. Listen, you got to go check it out. That's all I'm going to say.
The list is unlimited. Unlimited.
And we know conky's famous around this time, so you got to go out and support.
And by the
sweet potato conky.
By the way, the best conky would be at the Agro Strip on Thursday.
So you're making that, Mr. Solomon?
Of course.
You heard it here first.
I've tasted it, so you know I could vouch for him. Unfortunately, he made a real bad conky.
Bad. I say good and you say bad.
No, remember when we say good, we think it's, you know, so we use it to them, you know, a bit more different. Because we say something wicked, we mean like it's tasty, wicked. You know what I mean? It's bad that they're bad. You know, but you know, it's just our slang.
Yeah, but we'll be having some very good, not only conky, but quite a few natural dishes. And by the way, have you ever eaten sweet potato and mackerel? No, you're too young for that.
Yeah.
Too young for that. No.
I don't contrast.
You might have heard your parents talk about sweet potato and sprat. You know what is sprat? See, you don't even know that.
The skinny fish. The skinny fish?
What is dude from?
Yeah. I said yes, you know, he didn't hear.
Skinny fish.
So all these things we're hoping to have on display. And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to put one in the oven. The natural oven, and get it baked right in front of you, if you're lucky enough.
Okay, now that would be good.
Looking forward to that.
Definitely so.
I'm definitely coming across on Thursday.
One thing though, please walk with your taste buds. Don't leave them at home.
Yes.
We're going to bring them. And the whole public is going to bring them. So
Yes.
thank you for coming by and sharing
Indeed.
this
Thank you,
information with us.
gentlemen.
Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to see you and talk with you.
Well, just before we wrap up,
Yes.
I'd just like to say the place to be is Sweet Potato Melee on Thursday. If you don't come, blame yourself. Don't blame us. We
And
are
don't
doing
forget
our
the venue, Agua Strip. That's where the action is taking place. That's where the melody would be. The Agua Strip. Yes.
And the time is 9 to 6.
9 to 6. You heard it here. Don't be late. Show up. These guys are looking forward to seeing you. Gentlemen, thank you again for coming. GMSKN Nation, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break.
Thank you.
Melee. Yes.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. In an effort to break the stigma and discrimination of mental health and people living with mental health conditions within our communities, the Mental Health Unit is implementing a name change. So I should say the Mental Health Unit in Nevis is implementing a name change. So to announce the name change, we welcome Councillor Macmillan Cuffey. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, Mr. Cuffey. Our pleasure having you on today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure being back with you.
Oh, that's so sweet. So why the name change?
Yeah, as you rightly said in your introduction, well, it is now official as of Friday, 31st. The name will now be the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, BHWC for short. And as you rightly said, you know, this is an effort, or one of our efforts, to stamp out and tackle the issue of stigma against persons living with mental health conditions. You know, the terms mental health and psychiatry and all of these other names, people tend to really shy away from them and avoid coming in for services that they're so badly in need of. And so we felt that, you know, a renaming, but not just a renaming, but a rebranding of our services, you know, will be one of our efforts and hopefully help to reduce the issue of stigma for mental health.
All right, so I do have to ask, sir, because as you rightly indicated just now, it's not just a renaming, but a rebranding. So can you walk us through what that rebranding means to you and the potential consumers or the people who are going to avail themselves of your services?
Right, very good question. So, yeah, as I would have indicated, the renaming itself is just one aspect to give people a sense of, you know, a less intimidating or a more welcoming, you know, space. And one of the leading up to the name change on Friday, the official renaming, what we did is basically relocated our services. We were officially, initially at the Alexandria Hospital. And we realized that because, again, of the stigma, persons did not want to be seen coming up those steps to access our office space. And so I can say the first part of that was to move our space in a place that was more neutral. And we are located in the Prospect Estate area, in kind of a residential area where it blends in the community. And so you come here and yes, of course, people will know that this is the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, but because of the space and the ambience, you know, it's less threatening, it's more natural and neutral, and persons don't feel that sense of hesitancy to come in. But to answer your question, besides the name, what about the rebranding? A lot of persons are of the opinion that the mental health unit is just about dealing with the psychopathologies of mental health, meaning that we only deal with persons who have succumbed or who have decompensated with a mental illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar, all these other mental health conditions. A lot of persons are not aware that one of the services that we provide is that of counseling. You know, because again, of the stigma of mental health, people usually use terms like crazy, mad, you know, and these kind of terms because they always feel associate mental health with just psychopathologies. And part of the rebranding is to inform the public that we do much more than dealing with the psychopathologies. Yes, we do. And that is a very vital aspect of what we do. Unfortunately, some persons are going to decompensate, and we're going to have to stabilize it. But we want the public out there to know that we do offer counseling. We offer individual counseling. We offer family counseling. We offer couples and marriage counseling, and we just want to create and provide for persons that space where you can just come in and talk to someone in a safe space, a non-judgmental and unbiased space, a space where you feel free and that your business is confidential without having to worry that whatever you speak to a professional counselor about is not going out there on the streets. And so that is a very significant part of the rebranding of what we do, the counseling aspect.
Mr. Macmillan, how important is counseling to prevent deterioration of mental health?
Huge, humongous, big. There is that saying, as teaching time saves 9.
Yeah.
Prevention is better than cure. Our goal here is to try to keep persons healthy and stable, rather than dealing with psychopathologists. If we can prevent someone from breaking down, decompensating because of the burdens and the stresses of life, and we can intervene at an early stage, and that's the whole issue about health promotion and so on. Health, early intervention, early intervention is key, and so that's where counseling comes in. And so if more people access the services and have that space where they can ventilate, and have that bouncing ball, and diffuse the intensity and the pressures that they're going through life, then we may very well be able to avert something much more serious with the company that has to have to be institutionalized.
All right, so sir, in hearing you speak to more people potentially availing themselves of the services that you provide, I'm asking you now if that increase in numbers is one of your metrics for success, and if so, does it stand alone, or are there other measures that you're at liberty to share with us now concerning your evaluation of the success of the rebranding?
Right. So certainly we want to increase our numbers. Just give me a second, just plug this in. Certainly we want to increase our numbers, but quantity is not, while necessary, not sufficient. So certainly the quality of what we provide is, I believe, even a bigger indicator of the measure of the quality of service that we provide. And so when we moved here in our new location, a part of that movement was to, or that move was to create that comfortable, homey, welcoming, serene environment and space where persons will want to come. And so we feel that with increased numbers, the word will spread, persons will come in. But as I would have said earlier on, the perception and the misperceptions and misconceptions that persons have about this facility, this center, the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. We believe that persons now know, well, okay, they're not just about dealing with psychopathologists. In the local parlance, they're not just about dealing with crazy persons. They do much more. Outreach, counseling, You know, and that's part of why we're here today, making persons aware of what we're doing. And so we're hoping the services in itself has not changed that much, but we see a need to get in from even the preschool level and educate persons about what we are, because it's not that the services are not there. They have always been there, but it's the misconception and misperception that we are trying to change. And hence our reason for being here with you guys today at studio, here with you at the studio.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it is that not only is awareness important, but education and the outreach that you're doing, the more opportunities that there are for that, the more that would indicate how successful you are at rebranding and providing the services that you were known to provide for public.
Right, absolutely.
Mr. Macmillan, since your move, have you seen an increase in the footprints of persons coming to the center?
So not dramatically that much. Okay. I think to a certain extent, but I think, and that's where education comes and awareness, and comes in that. And I think that which happened on Friday, the 31st, to officially rename and the center, and doing, the PRs, the public campaigns that we're doing like now, hopefully will educate the public as to the services that we provide, and we hopefully will see, more persons accessing, accessing the services. But you guys are asking a very important question. We can do all of this, relocate, try to blend in, rename, rebrand. But if the misconceptions and the misperceptions are not changed, and the attitudes to persons with mental health conditions does not change, all of these efforts are in vain. And that's the bad thing about stigma, is the attitudes that the public has or has there towards persons with mental health conditions. I've seen and heard situations where, and I have personally spoken to persons, encourage them to come in, and I hear comments like, "Oh, my mother said, or my sisters, they do go to them people because they'll give you the mad injection." So unless these attitudes and misconceptions, perceptions have not changed, no matter how comfortable the environment, a lot of money was spent in our relocation to make this place very comfortable in terms of furniture, in terms of just making it really homey and so. A lot of money was spent. But all of these efforts would go in vain if the attitudes of persons does not change. And hence the reason for what we are doing today. Reaching out to persons through the media and educating them that mental health is not just about dealing with persons with psychopathologies. And that is a very significant part. And we do not in any way minimize that. That is very significant. And it's not even about the psychopathology. It's just like people just feel, for some reason, mental health is just so separate. It's like from your neck up, it's just so separate from your neck down. I mean, we drive cars and we know that if one simple problem in the engine or transmission goes bad, that the entire car is going to malfunction. Same with the body. Same with the body. You can be healthy physically, you can do your annual checks, get a clean bill of health, physical clean bill of health. But if there is something going on in your brain, there is some kind of imbalance, or emotionally you're going through something, or your life is so stressful that it affects your psychological and emotional health, you're not healthy.
So I have to
There
ask.
is no health without mental health.
So I have to ask, in relation to your sensitivity training, it's a two-part question. One, does that include the outreach and the change in perspective that you're trying to get the public to see? And two, does it infiltrate your own staff so that when they're providing the care that you're speaking about as part of this rebranding effort, that they too will be sensitive about their work?
That's an absolute yes for both questions. Yes. Let me zero in on the second part of your question about my staff. I must say that, knock wood, that right now we have staff who are very aware, and we do a lot of training. We do a lot of in-service professional training. We try to do it every Thursday. And we've been on a hold for about maybe a month or so because in preparation for, we had a lot of moving parts. But on Thursdays, we try to do an in-service professional development training for our staff, and we open it up to other members of the NIA, Universal Administration. And these are some of the issues that we look at. And we feel that ongoing training for our staff is of critical importance. Because if we, as the professionals, do not have the right attitudes towards the persons that we treat and take care of, then we ourselves will be pushing them away from accessing the services that we provide. And so we feel that continued education is of vital importance. And so we do that, as I said, on a very regular basis, and we open it up to other persons, out there. And because we feel that, and I've seen it, unfortunately, that even within the healthcare fraternity, we see these negative attitudes. How can you be a healthcare provider and discriminate against persons with mental illness? Just does not make sense.
Well, I'm happy that you answered my question in that way, in speaking to the training that your staff is receiving on an ongoing basis as well. And I really want to wish you the best of luck in your rebranding efforts as well. I know it's not going to be easy work, but you seem to be ready and willing to fight for this very important cause, and we really appreciate your efforts. Before we let you go, we did not ask you about the contact information for anyone listening who might want to avail themselves of your services. So please provide that to us now.
Sure. So as I indicated, we are physically located in the Cedar, in the Prospect Estate, Cedar Grove, Prospect Estate, in the St. John's Parish, Nevis. Our phone information, contact information, 469-5521. That's the government switchboard. Our extension, 6816 or 6817. We have a direct line, 469-5614. We got a mobile phone, 660-6551. Sorry, 660-9551. Let me repeat that. 660-9551. And our email address, behavioral, that is behavioral.health@nia.gov.kn.com.
McMillan Coffey, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We really do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for partnering with us. And it's always a pleasure being on your studio. I appreciate your efforts in helping us to sensitize and make the public aware and educate the public in our efforts to stamp out stigma and discrimination, but basically, and more importantly, educating them on mental health issues in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir. More Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time for us to loosen up, and today we'll be discussing the importance of pacing ourselves when achieving our goals or hitting socially dictated milestones. So the question is, have all of us at any point in time ever struggled with feeling like we have to do everything all at once?
It depends on what it is. But when we say, when we look at socially dictated milestones, that means being good at your education, getting married once you're done thereafter, so you would have completed all the other levels, getting a family right after that, probably buying a house, getting a car, maybe just living up to the social statuses that society expects us to live up to. So I would say maybe some people do, but no, I never struggled with stuff like that because I never put an age range or a time where I should accomplish everything that society expected me to accomplish. So what would you say to that?
Society who? That's what I say to that. Like, seriously.
Society who?
Way past curing in certain aspects, not everything, but definitely in certain aspects. Society has this blanket cover. It's like we put everybody in a bag, we call them society, and all of a sudden, all of their opinions are opinions that we should consider because they're society and they pressure us to do certain things, or there are norms that we ought to live by. I'm totally
like the topic earlier with Japan, that is like society telling them, like, between this and this age, you need to be married, you need to have a family, because we need to have the population that we want. So that too can be a stressor, and they will have to stand up to that, because for some, it might seem, well, okay, we're getting subsidized for this, because I didn't even know that persons still work part-time and on contracts in Japan. I thought work was like free, like there was just work. You can get whatever work once you're educated, or work is just available for everybody to be done. But I never knew those were the statistics over there. So society, once again, putting pressure on you to tell you, come on, we need some babies, you need some babies, you need to make some babies. It's a lot. Tell somebody what to do with their lives and their bodies. It's a lot.
I suppose that, as was indicated before, there might be a common thought that everything needs to be planned out. So in particular order, as was stated before, really there's no pressure to do that. I would say from society, there might be pressure internally from your family members who want grandbabies or whatever, or who figure that you ought to just live life a certain way as they dictate. And perhaps that pressure is more felt from people who are closest to us than it is from strangers.
Yeah.
Although that might not be the case in every situation.
In every situation, correct is right.
All right, well, if you felt like you've had to do everything at once, the easiest thing to do, I would say, is just to, well, perhaps not the easiest thing to do, but the best thing to do would be just to slow it down a little. Don't rush into things. Take time if you can. Sounds like good advice. Sounds a little cliche as well to tell you to let life unfold, but life will unfold in any event. I understand why we feel the need to have the ability to plan it out, because it's the only one we've got, and it's assigned to us. It's our lives that we're talking about, and so we want to do certain things at a certain point in time, but we should do those things bereft of any sort of pressure coming from external sources.
Indeed. And to each his own, as Jamie would have said, because sometimes, as I said, sometimes soon as persons get married, the right thing to do is make babies. And then, as I don't know if it's everybody, but I know in our culture, we have two greetings. You get fat, eh? Or you're married when you're making children. Like, come on, people. Everybody weren't cut out to become parents, or everybody weren't cut out to remain slim in life. The older you get, the more weight you put on, or the less weight you drop off. Because if you see me skinny, they're gonna be like, what's going on with you? You're stressed? You have problems? You're sick? Come on, guys. We have to be more sensitive to people and the goals that they want to accomplish, and not force our own ideologies and things that you think people should have accomplished because they would have accomplished some other thing on them. We have to be mindful. We really have to be mindful.
No, we don't. Hey, ideally, you'd want it, but no, we don't.
And allow people to...
That's why it's the reality, that it isn't.
And let people enjoy the destination. Things happen at later time and ages for others than they do at others. What works for A may not work for B, it may not work for C. So let us be compassionate, empathetic, and sympathetic about what we see when we see each other. Persons might take it and be like, oh, they're just teasing. But some people, as we spoke about mental health, you do not know what it's doing to that person's mental health. So we have to be kind and we have to be aware. Don't push people to their goals. Let them enjoy the process of it.
That's what you say. I would dare say, word choice being what it is, I don't think that we have to do anything. I think that it's ideal for us to do it in an ideal society. But the reason that we don't have those things exemplified is because we really don't have to do them. And so people live according to what they want to do, and that's why you're able to say what you want to say to somebody else. because you really don't have to do one thing or the other. In any event,
maybe if we got sued for our words, we would have been more mindful of what we tell people.
No, it's a whole other conversation for another day. Hopefully not anywhere on the show. In any event, enjoy the journey and do not focus on the destination.
Yeah.
I suppose that makes sense. You ought to be able to look at the flowers as you're traveling, enjoy where you're going to, every step that it takes you to get there, as opposed to thinking about it with finality. Okay, I'm here now, or as people say, and when I hear it, I just like automatically cringe. I've arrived. You've arrived to where? Like, really, that mentality is foreign to me. I hate that thought. I know people who operate like they have quote unquote arrived, you know what I mean? Because it's their goal and it's like, okay, I'm here now. Yeah, come on, realistically, yeah.
They have persons that I would have known or that I would have heard of that said, okay, I have to get this at that age, no matter what it takes for me to get it. I'll do this, I'll do that until I get it. And when they don't get it, you look at them and they're so distraught and they're fighting in other ways to get it. Like if someone says, oh, I'm going to be married at 25 and 25 doesn't happen, they just speed through it, eventually end up picking up the wrong individual. And then most of the time it ends up not working out, but it's because they had that goal and they had to make sure that that goal happened.
But, okay, it's different when you're saying someone has a goal and they've pressured themselves into achieving it and go after it, you know, at all costs, basically. When that goal is not determined by either society or by someone else, when it's not dependent on someone else. So the relationship example that you use as a default is the same thing. It's dependent on someone else. Those are not the types of goals that I think of when I think about these things. I'm thinking about career goals. I'm thinking about academic goals. I'm thinking about financial goals, things that you can control. And I keep saying the same thing with every discussion, basically. Focus on your locus of control. And so in that way, it wouldn't be society's pressure, so to speak, as much as it would be an internal pressure to accomplish those things and have them manifest.
Because it's simple as you speak about education in the previous the stuff with Japan, those people, the women are fighting to get an education because before the gentleman would marry a woman that just had a high school education, but these women want more than a high school education, and in turn the women are not going to marry a guy that just have high school education. They want somebody that's in university with them, and sometimes it doesn't work that way for them because they have goals. They have goals and things that they want to accomplish. So it doesn't work like that for them. And once again, pressures again.
Yeah, but where does that pressure come from? Because when we talk about it, again, it's internal versus external. And so
society,
you'd have to decide whether you've internalized the external goals to the point where you've modified them so that they become your goals, effectively immune to external pressure. If that's the case, then that's fine for me. If it's not the case, then it'll be something else entirely. In any event, as we talk about feeling like you have to do everything at the same time, taking action is critical because you want to be progressing through life, don't you? So taking action is definitely critical. But rushing full speed ahead, ignoring all of the road signs, is a recipe for disaster.
And I say that all the time.
So take your time.
Don't miss life's key moment. Don't forget to smell the flowers. Don't be authentically you. Do you. Don't succumb to the pressures internally and externally. That's what I would say. That's definitely what I would say.
Internal pressure is one thing. External pressure, that's where we diverge. I don't mind the internal pressure. It's the external pressure that's the problem.
Okay. Alrighty, folks. With that said, stay tuned. We have more for you right here on Good Morning SKN.
See it.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is that time of the morning when we let you know what is happening. So the Department of Youth Empowerment is pleased to announce that the nominations for the 25 Most Remarkable Teens 2023 are officially open. Guidelines for submissions are: nominees must be no younger than 13 years old by the end of the nomination year. Nominees must be no older than 19 years old by the end of the nomination year. Nominees must have demonstrated capacity in the nominated category and have a record of remarkable character, contributions to society, and accomplishments. Successful nominees are required to fully participate in a 12-month of capacity building and a community service program. Successful nominees and their parents must sign a confidentiality agreement. No mention of success is to be discussed before the award. The deadline for nomination submissions is May the 26th, 2023. Forms have already been sent to schools and are available at the Department of Youth office that is located on the 3rd floor of the Cable Building on Keon Street. So nominate the youths that you think are deserving of these awards.
Definitely so. All right, so next up on the list of things that are happening is the countdown to the 49th anniversary of the Nevis Culturama Festival. And if you're interested in participating in any of the Culturama shows, here are the deadlines. So the Senior Kaiso Contests, deadline is April 28th. The Soca Monarch Contest, May 19th is the deadline for that one. Mr. and Mrs. Talented Youth Pageant and Junior Kaiso Contests, the deadline for that is June 2nd. And for the Junior and Senior Cultural Street Parades and Emancipation Juve Troupe, the deadline is July 7th. So after those dates, everything will be dead.
Yep, so go out, and if you're interested, go out and sign up so you can participate, and maybe you might even win, you know? You might even win. So the St. Kitts Department of Youth, the youth department is hosting a lot of activities, guys. So the T-shirt design challenge. Create a design inspired by the St. Kitts Department of Youth Empowerment T-shirt Summer Camp 40 theme, and you can win attractive prizes. We told you about this, and it continues. So the rules and guidelines includes your design must be hand-drawn on an 8.5 by 11 inch of paper, must incorporate the Department of Youth Empowerment logo, must use no more than 5 colors, and participants must be between the ages of 8 years to 16 years. So additional guidelines and rules available at the Department of Youth Empowerment at the 3rd floor of the Cable Building on Keon Street. Prizes, you say? What are they? They include a drawing tablet, free camp submissions, and other prizes. So you have to be in it to win it to know what the other prizes are. The deadline date is the 24th of April. So folks, 20 more days to go. So as I said, you only win if you're in it. So get your designs in as soon as possible.
And finally on the list of things that are happening is sports season. So it is sports season. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 5th of April, is the day that the much anticipated Golf Insurance and Bank of Nevis International Inter-Primary Championship 2023 takes place. And it all goes down at the Nevis Athletic Stadium from 12 p.m. Admission is $20 for adults, and children pay a mere $10. I love that mirror, it keeps going up. But anyway, mirror not necessarily for this, but you know, once ago $2 was a mirror. Now it's 10. Yes, that's a sign of progress. In any event, if you are interested in getting inside parking, well, there you go. That's not mirror, is it? Then it's additional. It's an additional $20. All right. So go out tomorrow. Hey, you can probably have 2 additional children enter to watch for that. All right, not probably, but definitely. Anyway, go out tomorrow for the 2023 Inter-Primary Schools Championship on Wednesday. That's April 5th from 12 p.m. and it says until, so you go until it's over, or maybe even after that.
Until it's over.
All right.
And it's a half day. The Premier ensure that he made it a half day because this is a big thing, the Nevis Mini Olympics. So even if you have to catch a boat to go across, guys, catch your boat, go across. Divisions, turn out in your numbers and support. Well, I don't have to tell you because I know you go out and support your Mini Olympics. So good luck tomorrow, guys. Put on a great show for your audience.
I thought you were continuing that.
No, I'm done. I just, the last thing I told him was to put on a great show for the audience.
Right, you're done and we're done. That's all for what's happening. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Thank you for joining us today for another edition of GMSKN. Tune in daily to find a little bit of everything for everyone. You're encouraged to get your friends and family members to watch. Keep them coming. And of course, remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio327 Inc. and at Good Morning SKN on Instagram. That's our handle. So like, subscribe, follow, and share. And visit our website at www.studio327inc. Studio327.
And for those of you who are watching us in St. Martin, Trinidad, Guyana, and the diaspora, we thank you so much for joining us each and every morning. And I see our subscriber numbers are going up. Oh, guys, you don't know how grateful we are to you. Keep watching, keep sharing. And you can leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And see you tomorrow on Whiskermas Wednesday, Hump Day. When you wake up, stretch, grab your coffee, turn on your devices, be it at home or at the office. Remember to tell the boss too. Yeah, let us help you start your morning. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you'll start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. As usual, thank you for watching. Always spread a kind word. It's Tuesday. Choose to do something nice for yourself or just choose to be nice. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.